In the quaint town of Willowbrook, where the sun always seemed to shine, the weather forecast had predicted something unusual, a heavy downpour. For the people of Willowbrook, this was as rare as a flying pig, and excitement filled the air. At the center of this town lived Benny, a tall, lanky man with a crooked smile and wild hair that always seemed to have a mind of its own. Benny had a habit of getting into bizarre situations, and his best friend, Lucy, was usually dragged along for the ride. Lucy was short, with fiery red hair and freckles, known for her quick wit and sarcastic sense of humor. On this particular day, as the sky darkened, Benny decided to prove a point. "I bet you, Lucy, that the rain won't even make a difference in my day." "I can handle anything," he said, puffing out his chest. Lucy smirked. "Anything? Like the time you thought you could juggle flaming torches and ended up setting your pants on fire?" "Hey, that was one time," Benny protested, brushing off her mockery. As the first drops of rain began to fall, Benny stood proudly outside, arms spread wide. "See? No big deal." But then, the rain poured harder than anyone in Willowbrook had ever seen. It wasn't just rain, it was torrential, with gusts of wind that flipped umbrellas and drenched Benny in seconds. His clothes clung to him like wet paper, his hair plastered across his face. Lucy, watching from under the safety of a cafe awning, laughed uncontrollably. Suddenly, Benny's shoe slipped off in the downpour and skidded across the road. "No problem, just a shoe," he yelled, sprinting after it. But as fate would have it, the shoe landed in a deep puddle. Benny, in his slippery state, dove for it, arms flailing, and landed face first in the mud with a splash that seemed to echo through the town square. Lucy nearly doubled over in laughter, wiping tears from her eyes. Undeterred, Benny stood up, covered head to toe in muck. "Still fine," he shouted. He took a step forward, and immediately, a gust of wind caught him off balance, sending him crashing into a nearby stand of fruits and vegetables. Apples and oranges flew through the air, narrowly missing passers-by. The stall owner, Mr. Jenkins, an old man with a bushy white mustache, scowled. "Benny, you menace! That's the third time this week." Benny sheepishly picked himself up and grabbed a few apples to hand back. But in his haste, he accidentally knocked over a basket of tomatoes. Whoops." Lucy, still laughing from the cafe, finally joined him. "Okay, I admit it. This is the funniest thing I've seen in years." Just then, a loud crack of thunder rolled through the air, and Benny yelped, slipping once more and landing in yet another puddle. Lucy couldn't hold back her laughter anymore, and soon Benny was laughing too. The rain fell harder, but in that moment, the two friends were laughing so hard they could barely breathe. As the storm began to ease, Benny stood up one final time, soaked but grinning. "Well, I guess I won the bet," he said between chuckles. Lucy raised an eyebrow. "Won? You fell, lost your shoe, and took out half the fruit stand." Benny shrugged, still smiling. "Yeah, but I'm still laughing, aren't I?" Lucy shook her head, her laughter subsiding to a grin. "You're impossible, Benny." The two of them walked off, Benny squishing in his soggy shoes, Lucy still giggling as the rain finally stopped and the sun peeked through the clouds. And so, the story ends here.